Happy New Year, everybody. I'm here with your favorite Mel.
Hey, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Apparently, he was out dancing last night, everybody.
My
Mhm.
cousin Lisa and I went to Mykonos Greek restaurant, and if you're in Chicago, go to Mykonos. The food is magnificent. On Friday nights, they have a band. But anyway, last night we went and it was so much fun. Everybody was up dancing, and I think my cousin and I were well, there was an Italian family that I met, and there was my cousin and I think we were the only non-Greeks in the place, but it didn't matter. I don't know how to Greek dance, and somebody grabbed me up and got me on the floor, and oh God, it was so much fun.
Oh my God, how wonderful. When they
Yeah.
grabbed you up, did you point your toes?
Oh, of course. I'm like,
I always say the first thing to remember if somebody lifts you up is to point your toes.
the owner of the restaurant was like, Mel, did you just learn how to do that? I go, yeah, I watch everybody's feet.
Well, you've got, I've watched you dance. He's a good dancer, you guys. You just have that ability, to catch on.
Yeah, I've got rhythm, so and when I used to help with the ice shows, I could see it in my head, but I wasn't a good enough skater to put it into the choreography, but I could tell, like the head coaches and stuff, what I was kind of seeing. And it was like I said to my cousin last night, the Greek line dancing, you think you could translate that into ice? And she said no. And I said, oh, I think you could. And she goes, well, you show me how to do it and I'll do it. I go, you're on.
Good, good.
So we had a ball. I mean,
What's your favorite dish there, if you don't mind me asking?
oh, you know what? I just love their food. Their Greek salad, the choriatiki is really good. The fasolakia, the Greek green beans that are braised in tomato sauce are excellent. Um, Last night they had surf and turf, but they had lamb chops with
Mm.
and shrimp. Um, I used to not be much on lamb,
I'm not anything on lamb.
but my favorite dish there, my favorite dish they have there is the grilled octopus. It is phenomenal. It sounds terrible, but it's
I
really
know.
good.
Give me
But
something that I would like.
um, well, you might like the lokaniko. That's the Greek sausage. It's really good. Or the keftedes. That's like it's like patties. It's like, but they're really good. Um,
I like the Greek seasonings they use.
yeah, you would probably like they have you would like the pasticcio. That's really good.
Okay.
Um, when you come here, I'll take you there.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, the owners are amazing. She's coming to Africa with us, and so I'm excited.
Didn't I get you guys a gift certificate for that restaurant when I
Yes,
first
you
met
did.
you? I
Yes,
think it
you
was
did.
for your birthday or something.
And it didn't take me long to use it.
I know. I think you guys were down there that night.
We were.
Oh, we got a gift certificate for.
By the way, anybody who's interested, I have openings on the Africa tour. I've got room for like 7 more people. So,
Oh, that's better than last year.
well, last year I had 17, but I have to have 15, and I think I've got 11 so far, but I've only got until March. So, but I've been lazy. I haven't
Yeah.
really.
Well, you went through a tough year. We were just talking about that. You went through cancer, you went through COVID yet again, and something that popped up that you weren't quite sure what the hell that was.
Had to biopsy that, and I'm like, but I'm thankful to be alive.
And you're still with the living, you're moving forward.
There you go.
You
Yep.
know, life, there is no life unless you continually move forward.
Agreed.
Unlike me, who likes to sit in my chair and veg out. I fell asleep before midnight, you guys. I was out like a light. I woke up at 4 and went back to sleep, didn't wake up till 7:30 this morning.
I got home, I think it was the restaurant's only like 5 minutes away. So I think, I only had one glass of wine. That was it, because I won't drink and drive. And I got that, and I had that when we got there at like 8:45.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, but it was so much fun. And
Were you up at midnight then?
yeah, we've celebrated the New Year's there. It was so much fun. Oh my God. Everybody was
Us?
up singing and hugging and shaking hands, and it was so much fun. I got home, I think, around 1 o'clock.
Wow. So I
So
had a real strong feeling that 24 was going, especially in the middle of 24, is a real significant year. And significant on the other side can mean hardship, but hardship with a good outcome. And then we had that 7.6 earthquake because I kept getting texts on my phone. I'm like, what is this? And it was about the earthquake.
But the tsunamis weren't as bad as they were the one that happened. When was it? Like,
Even the earthquake, I can't believe Japan must really earthquake proof their homes.
yeah, and they have a lot of earthquakes.
Yeah. Apparently the power didn't go out in a lot of places. So,
Well, that's a big quake, but I think the one that caused those tsunamis, I think it was 10 years ago, whenever it was,
oh,
20.
it was terrible.
I think that was a earthquake at sea, but what happens is I think one piece slid under another one and it displaces water, and that's what causes the tsunamis. But
You
those
know,
were
I was reading a client at Angel Heart, and all of a sudden my ears started ringing so loud and I got dizzy. And she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Oh," I said, "we're getting ready to have a big earthquake over a 7-pointer somewhere in this world. I can feel it coming." I think 2 days later was that Japan earthquake. This one, no, nothing. I didn't get anything.
than either. It was funny when those tsunamis hit Thailand, like Phuket and Phi Phi Don. When the night before they hit, I had a dream that I was drowning, and then a big wave hit me, and I couldn't figure it out. I got up that morning, and they said the tsunamis had hit, and they didn't know how many people were gone, but I think it was like 250,000. It was
Oh, it's
huge.
terrible.
Yeah, that I hooked into, but
Last night I had the weirdest dream. I dreamt I was at some place that was having a wedding and people had their own little homes and we shared rooms. I was with a group of gals and I had my room and they had their room. And President Obama was there
wow.
and his wife and daughter. And I think the wife and daughter were part of the wedding. And I remember he was tall. He was really tall in the dream. And I wanted an opportunity to go up and thank him for everything he did for this country. And I remember being too shy, if you can believe it. I remember feeling,
You?
yeah, I remember feeling, well, maybe I'll go in later. Of course, he had Secret Service around him and stuff. And I just, it was weird though, but I definitely saw him. He was there.
I got a feeling one of these days you'll be able to meet him.
Obama?
I
Wow.
bet you.
I'd like to meet Biden too.
I don't know about Biden, but Obama, you will. I know it sounds crazy, but my psychic lipo won't.
You know, I listen, one time when I was in love with what's his name? You know, I'm in love with, I crush on everybody.
Yeah,
John
me too.
Travolta back in the Staying Alive days. And me and my girlfriend went down to the theater to see his new movie, Staying Alive. And when we got home, we were thrilled with the movie. And we both threw out cards to see who would get to meet him. And it said me.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa. So anyway, life goes on. And then I get invited by my friend Tris to a club in Beverly Hills. And I went to that club and I went out there on the dance floor. Travolta steps in with Marilu Henner and his entourage. And Barry Manilow was there, Lionel Richie was there. But I went out on that dance floor and danced my ass off thinking he'll see how good I dance and he'll ask me to be in his next movie. Well, every time I looked, he wasn't looking. Every time I glanced over, but Meryl Lou was looking like, who the hell's that? And then I do a twirl and I go into a split. But the thing is, if you're doing that and you're sweating, always make sure you wear underwear because the suction was so bad when I hit the floor. I couldn't get up. They had to call the fire department, get the jaws of life to get me out of there. That part didn't happen, but the other part did. He didn't pay one bit of attention. He was kind of an ass back then. He had a white Rolls Royce and he told Mary, well, we got to go. And she was trying to talk to people and say hello. So anyway.
Got a feeling you'll meet Barack.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, my friend. Well, we got a lot of questions. Sorry, we're chit-chatting, you guys. Happy New Year.
We do this. All right,
So who wants to go first?
you go first.
Okay. What's going to happen to the thousands of people at the Mexican border? What are your long and short-term visions for this?
Oh boy. Well, I do see immigration reform coming. Um, you know, I still see more people crossing the border. Texas is gonna, you know, Abbott in Texas is gonna try some more shenanigans, but he won't win. But you know, Texas, what they're doing is they're chartering airplanes and they're bringing them to places that are democratic cities like Chicago, and they just did that with a plane load of people. And here, the mayor here found out that the plane was chartered by Texas government, and the two people that were on there to oversee the immigrants, they took off running when they got to O'Hare, so they couldn't get arrested. So now what O'Hare is doing is checking out those planes to see where they're coming from, to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And then Abbott's doing it with bus loads of people. And I'm not a lawyer, but what he's doing is illegal. And that's not stopping that's not stopping the wave of immigration. It isn't, you
Isn't
know.
that amazing?
The only thing to stop that would be making sure that these authoritarians are out of power and that those countries where they're coming from have more stable governments.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Uh,
see a lot of immigrants going back to their countries that come out of those crays running it.
they will. They absolutely will.
But a lot of these are very hardworking people. They'd be happy to work. You know, you can't get produce in Florida. Remember, my friend lives there and gas was $2.15 a gallon. She said, but you can't get produce. There's no produce in Florida. But there's ample amount of produce in California. But that's because we allow the immigrants to work. They just don't work in Florida.
I wonder how many of those people in Florida have illegal immigrants cleaning their houses.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's funny, over here by us, there's an overpass, and right under that, there's I guess there's like it's like blankets and tarps and things like that. And my cousin Lisa is very good-hearted, and she said that she stopped by there. She went to like one of the hamburger restaurants and got like 15 or 20 hamburgers and all this.
Was that enough?
Well, there's 10 of them, I think. And she was with our friend, and they stopped there and she gave them food. So today she asked if I would go with her and drop off food. And I said, absolutely. So,
Oh,
but the one who spoke English, he was like 29 or 30. He said that they don't have social security numbers. They just, they can't find jobs unless they pay cash. So Lisa and I have been kind of trying to figure out, you know, maybe we can find something for them to help generate some income.
that's just, but they're willing to go through that to get away from their country.
What does that tell you?
It tells you it's pretty bad.
That's right.
But we don't own this land. Nobody owns, Russia doesn't own their land. Nobody owns anything. Okay, that's the part that my relatives, my Native Americans, were very confused about the white men acting like they owned something, because they never felt they owned anything.
Well, in the native way, the land is owned by everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
we share. We don't
And
nobody.
always treated the land good. Yeah. It wasn't until the white man started to take and F you and all that, especially my tribe, you don't piss them off. The Sioux tribe was vicious too, by the way.
So were the Comanches.
So
right,
yeah, it's going to be 2 years, you guys, before I think after Biden is in again and all this riffraff is being kicked out, I think they'll come to, I don't know why I keep seeing this. I'm just going to say this out loud. I see bracelets with a barcode on it.
oh,
And I
wow.
know that's like, you know, well, you're going to treat cattle like, it's because the barcode lets them know who you are and where they can send you, and you're in the system. So
Which is
that's what I see.
okay. Which brings up a point. Somebody brought up something that said they read somewhere, and I looked it up and I saw it too. I can't remember where it was. That's somebody predicted, some reporter or something, that Biden would win the popular vote and Trump would win the electoral vote. But I don't see that. I mean, I see Trump, he's indicted, but I see him found guilty. But with the Supreme Court, everybody's asking, and some people kind of got mad about it, but I think they're going to say that they'll find some way around it to say that his name goes back on those ballots.
It doesn't matter. It's just like the Lauren Boebert changed to a different place. And I said, she's still going to lose. Doesn't matter. I don't care where she goes. She's still going to lose.
Right.
The women are coming together because of this whole, you have no rights. You
Right.
don't even have a right to birth control, but in the meantime, men have carte blanche and all the Viagra they can eat.
Right. I
What's
agree.
wrong with this picture? Women are the ones who are going to stand up in the front, and they're trying to get rid of gay rights and everything. No, guess what? The smart people will come in and actually kick that SOB out.
Good. Good. All right, I've got one. This is by Ms. Nunziata. Will the New Madrid fault have any significant seismic activity in 2024 or the near future?
Where's that located at?
I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking there'll be some seismic activity, but I don't see any mega quakes or anything like that that's going to cause a humongous amount of damage.
That's interesting. It's called New.
The New Madrid fault.
It's in the southern and midwestern United States, stretching from southwest from New Madrid, Missouri. That's my kinfolk on my dad's side. They were from the Ozarks. There's been okay, thank you, in 1811 New Madrid earthquake. So there was earthquakes there.
There'll be earthquakes, but nothing like that's going to be like catastrophic.
Yeah, Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, and all the way extends all the way to Mississippi and Indiana. I feel it's part of a future, almost catastrophic. How do you say that word?
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic earthquake, but this is not in our lifetime. It's down the
No,
road.
it's not going to be in our lifetime. I just don't see it. I mean, there
But I
might,
do see quakes here and there, but no Armageddon. I
But-
do see buildings toppling, so something's going to happen probably within 2 years.
but I don't know if it's in the New Madrid fault, you know.
Well, I'm asking about New Madrid, but you could be right. It could, maybe it won't, but I do see the Midwest having a good sized quake, but not where a lot of people are being killed and stuff.
No, I don't see that. I see some seismic activity, but really not a lot to write home
But
about.
I feel that this one could be a big one down the road.
Oh, down the road, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. You're next.
Oh, I'm next. Oops.
Yep.
Okay. We just talked about the immigrants. Will Klobuchar be successful? Amy, you know, who is that? That senator. Will Klobuchar be successful in having the U.S. Postal Service investigated for failure of service in the rural areas of Dakotas and Minnesota? Oh, I didn't know she was working on that.
I didn't either.
That's wonderful. Will she be successful?
I hear yes, they might try to block her in the House. I don't know how much power they'll have, but I do see her.
Oh, while we still got the repubes in there, we come into our new season, you're gonna see a lot of Republicans gone.
I agree. But she will launch an investigation at some point. She'll,
And did you hear North Dakota was ordered by the Supreme Court to change their boundaries for voting, and they refuse?
well, then that could make their votes invalid.
Yep,
So
absolutely, absolutely. The answer is yes. Amy will be successful. It might be next summer, next year.
and then, you know, some southern states are talking about taking Biden's name off the ballot, but they won't be successful in doing that. He hasn't done
Because
it.
they have no reason, just like this, impeaching him. What a bunch of crutch. And you know what? They've done nothing. And you know what the first thing they're going to work on when they come back? The impeachment.
Right. And then, you know, Mike Johnson, when they were impeaching Trump, oh, we can't do this. It's dangerous to our democracy, blah, blah, blah. And now he changes horses in the middle of the stream thinking, oh, well, we have to take a look into Biden for what? Biden has not committed any high crimes or misdemeanors.
Nothing like Trump did.
So it's going to bite them in the butt. I mean, the hypocrisy gets me crazy. They
I know.
support Trump, who's as crooked as a barrel of fish hooks, and has pulled all this BS. And then it's just about diversion and to try to make Biden look bad. And
Exactly.
then they're coming up with he's senile, the same rhetoric that was in 2020. And Biden forgot more than Donald Trump ever knew, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's all coming from, it's a playbook from Putin. It really is. It's the same stuff all over again.
Yeah, and Putin was one of the reasons that Trump won.
That's
There,
correct.
there was a big article about our own CIA and people within the Secret Service and stuff working to protect Giuliani and those people who were working with Putin.
I believe that. I
That's a
totally,
shame. That's
it
a
is
shame.
a shame. Okay. Here, I'm gonna go with this one first. Kimberly Austin says, love you, Mel and Linda. Well, we love you too.
Love you too, Kimberly.
At a recent Trump rally, T. Rump told his followers that they didn't need to get out to vote
I
because
saw
they
that.
already had enough votes. Is there a plan in place to switch votes in favor of Trump? What's going on? Well, I think behind the scenes they're already working to try to rig the election, but they
They
won't
can't
succeed.
do it. They can't do it. Not with a Democratic administration.
I don't
He's
see it.
trying to pull in favors from people, even with foreigners, but it's not, he's going to lose. I'm telling you.
That's what I think. He'll make a big stink out of it. They already are starting.
Yeah, he's already going to act like it's rigged.
Well, he's
I would
gonna,
have wanted, they hadn't done all these charges against me. It's rigged. There will be some light terrorist, domestic terrorist action, but I see it being run over by a big tank, which means probably the military will get involved.
and if he starts getting people, inciting them to be violent again, then he'll face more charges for inciting an insurrection.
Yeah.
And I see that coming, as a matter of fact.
Ooh, I love it. Sweet talker.
There
So,
you
okay, this is an interesting question. Epinephrine, wait, not epinephrine, ephedrine has a weight loss pill removed during the Bush administration. Will
Yes.
the FDA bring back the weight loss with new regulations, or will a new weight loss supplemental pill come out for sale? I don't see that particular drug coming out.
The reason they were taken off the market, I think, was because they were causing cardiac arrhythmias and people were having heart attacks.
A lot of people. In fact, anytime I go in the doctor, they ask, was I ever on those drugs? It was 2 drugs. That
Fin-
one and something else.
Fin, I think was the name of it.
Yeah, and fortunately, I didn't get involved. But back when I was younger, I used to take them Black Beauties.
Oh, yeah.
I was skinny, and one night I even painted the whole inside of the house.
Mowed the yard, painted the house, did the roof.
Rotated the tires. But I do see the ones that are on up and coming now, like the Hollywood one, the injection ones. I see within the next year, 2 years, all new diet stuff that actually works.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's an injection now. I can't think of the name of it.
Ozempic or
Whatever it is, it's supposed to help with, weight loss and blood sugar. And so I think, if it's getting people to lose weight and bringing down their blood sugar, if they're diabetic or pre-diabetic, then it's a great drug, I think. So I agree with you. I don't think they'll bring that stuff back because the drug you're talking about is really speed, and it's
yeah,
not good for your heart. These
not
other
good for your heart.
these other drugs are a whole different pharmacology that'll
They're
be
coming up with great ways. The thing is, insurance won't cover a lot of it.
Oh, I know.
You think they would want people to lose weight? That's less money coming out of their pockets.
You know what, Linda? They really don't care.
I know. I
They
know.
just the bottom line.
And listen, if you can go, if you don't have the diabetes, you can try to get these other drugs, but it'll cost you $1,000 a syringe.
Oh, it's expensive. I'm on a drug to bring down cholesterol because I can't take statin drugs. And in order to get it, the insurance company made me jump through hoops. But if it wasn't covered in the insurance, a month's supply would cost like almost $1,900.
Why is the drug, why are they acting like they don't have to? Because it's so expensive.
Excuse me 1 second. Oops, sorry. Speaking of that, that's my cousin. Give me a second.
You want me to put you on pause?
No, I got it. I declined it.
Okay.
My ringtone. It's all right.
Okay.
Anyway. All righty. Is it my turn or your turn?
Your turn.
Okay. So him telling them not to vote, yeah, that's bogus. Okay. Let's see. this is Diana. It says, Happy New Year to Marvelous Linda and Handsome Mel. They say the eyes are first to go. I don't know. Thank you for all you do. My question for the new year, will the wealthy ever start paying more taxes to help the economy? She said they don't realize they can't take it with them to the other side.
I'm going to tell you, after Biden gets back, he wanted to just do, even Elizabeth Warren said, all we got to do is like 1 or 2% more and it'll cover everything. And
Right.
the doggone Republicans wouldn't allow 1 or 2% more.
Well, because
When the Democrats take over, they'll change that.
they're afraid to lose their constituency, but it really gets me. The hypocrisy of the whole thing gets to me,
Yeah.
It really is my pet peeve. But anywho, wait, I lost my place here.
Okay.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. It's your turn. Or is it?
It was your turn because this was about bringing down the rich having to pay
Oh,
more.
you read that one. Okay. So this person says, do you see America ever electing another celebrity for president after the heartache we've gone through with Trump?
Yes, but somebody who I think might have been a celebrity at some point and then has a history in politics.
Okay.
But it's going to be a wild ride in 2024. So let's buckle up our seatbelts. But people don't succumb to the fear,
There you go.
Um, okay.
Okay.
All right. Oh, this is a good one. Nancy Vasquez said, will home interest rates go down in 2024? My goal is to purchase a second home. Bonus. Do you see that happening for me? Thank you, tons of love, Mel and Linda. I see the rates coming down and the
I
housing
see them
prices.
coming down.
I predicted the housing prices, if the mortgage rates, I'm sorry. If you take like a 5 or 10-year loan, they'll bring them back down to around 4%. So I see them coming down. And I see the housing prices falling by about 5%.
They are falling as we speak
That's right. And
in California.
that's my prediction. And California has to because it's so expensive. Everybody's moving to Colorado, so those prices are inflated.
Or to Arizona.
And the same thing is happening in Arizona.
Yeah. And also I see when the new administration comes in, first time home buyer stuff they're going to do.
That's what I see as well. Or if you're having a really absorbently high interest rate, they'll give you a chance to refinance it. But that's a good point though, Linda, because I'm thinking that a lot of the people that are leaving from California going to Colorado and going to Arizona will help those states to become purple as well.
Yes. Yes. Wonderful.
So
don't forget that dream I had of Rachel Maddow and Nicole and Joy sitting there looking at each other saying, ladies and gentlemen, Florida just went blue.
yay. Oh, I could kiss you. All right.
Okay, this is a good one. Catherine says, is Rudy hiding money in the Cayman Islands? If so, will it be found? And will he have to cough it up?
It came to me in Italian, piange e mangi, and that means cry with a loaf under each arm. Cry broke when you've got a loaf under each arm. He's got some money stashed for
That's what I was feeling too.
Right. Entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. But I see some sort of forensic thing taking place and they're going to find it.
We'll find it. So, all right. This is from Donna Hensley. Hi, Mel and Linda. Will the money that Japan sent Ukraine turn the tide and force Russia to retreat soon? And I don't think it's going to force Russia to retreat, but I had predicted that Ukraine would get money from other countries.
I felt that too, yeah.
And other countries will continue to send help. And so I think here again, Putin has underestimated, NATO and the European Union. That's why he wants to weaken it, but he will not succeed.
No, and also they got hit, Ukraine got hit really hard with some drones that the Russia did. Apparently it was pretty devastating.
But those drones are really expensive, and I'm sure he's got people like Iran backing him because they have the oil. But sooner or later, that money runs out, you
And
know?
sooner or later, he runs out.
Correct, exactly.
He's going to be taken down. I think we might even be in some surprises for the March voting thing. As long as he's with it, he won't be voted out, even if he lost.
Right.
He'll refuse to go. But I see some stuff happening.
So do I. Okay, it's your turn.
Okay. Thank you for all that you do. Do you see the government shutdown on February 2nd?
If they do, it's a nail in the coffin for the
I'm
Republicans.
telling you, I've been saying that because I kept feeling a little shutdown or right at the edge, and then they do the status quo where they kind of throw it over. Because that Mike guy, whoever he is, the perv, he's going.
Well, he'll be gone.
He's going.
If they do it during an election year,
And they're just busy working on Biden for impeachment, that's going to put Biden's numbers through the roof.
I think it will too. They're it's Trump behind the whole thing. So, and Putin, we all know that. Okay. Here's a question. Will the list of names of Epstein associations cause any members of Congress to step down?
And that's coming out tomorrow.
I hear yes.
Okay, let me look real quick.
I
hear yes, but I'm wondering, am I wishing it? Let me double check.
I don't think you're wishing it. If they refuse to step down, then things will be put in place to take them out. When you said you're wishing it, I heard, no, you're not wishing it. That's a psychic hit.
Okay.
Of course, I'm wishing it too.
Ooh, the demon is there.
Well, there you go.
And then it's like magic. Yeah, there's going to be some people that will be affected by this.
That's what I pick up.
So. I see people claiming it's nonsense or it's not real. Like you can't prove it or something like that.
Well, they always do that.
Yeah. Like Trump with that gal that she's the one who said he was a mushroom size. He said he didn't even know her. He never even met her. And then there's pictures of her and him together.
Yeah, right. Okay.
He said he didn't know the lady that he has to go in the middle of this month to, she's suing him big time because he turned around and lied again about her. So she's suing him again, just like the mother and daughter are doing in Georgia.
And you know what? All of them are going to win.
Oh, I know. I know. Isn't it interesting that the government and the courts always are ruling on the other side? Rarely does Trump get a thumbs up, but he's always acting like I'm king and you can't do this to me.
Even when the Supreme Court didn't hear the case for him being immune from the thing about immunity, it doesn't mean anything because all they said was let it go through the lower courts first. Yeah. So they were smart in saying that.
Yeah, they wanted to protect themselves too.
Of course they did. And that's why they're looking for a way out around this whole thing about the names on the ballot. They'll try to do it in such a way so that they don't look as if they're pro-Trump.
Okay.
I see new justices with SCOTUS too. So,
is it my turn again?
Yep.
Okay. Threats. This is from Pat. The threats that are being made, are they coming from inside the house or foreign actors, troll farms, or a combination of both?
I hear a combination of both, but a lot of it.
Well, they did talk about the ones that were going to Colorado to those justices. About 24% were inside, but the rest was foreign.
There you go. I think it might even be a bigger percentage that was inside.
And I have a friend who works in the political arena, and she said even Obama's threats have gone up 400%.
Wow.
For Obama.
Wow. Okay, D48 says, Happy New Year, Linda and Mel. Happy New Year to you too. Okay. Brenda says, Happy New Year to you both. Will the U.S. be roped into a war with Iran and Yemen over protecting ships from piracy in the Red Sea? Ooh. I don't see
Say that
maybe.
again, say it again to me.
She says, will the US be roped into a war with Iran and Yemen over our protecting ships from piracy in the Red Sea?
No, actually, I'm feeling Iran is kind of chicken to
Ex-
actually go full war.
Well, they don't
Uh,
want,
they try to come in like Russia does, sneaky, behind the scenes. And as their drones come, we keep blowing away. We even shot we even went somewhere where their planes were and blew them all up.
right.
Yeah, because America is going to defend itself and Iran doesn't dare. The other countries are like, yeah, do what you want to do. But I see people saying, no, we're not going to fight against the United States right now. They'll blow them right out of the water.
I think Putin was behind some of that too. But Yemen, I mean, they're a small country. I mean, uh, we could
That's
go,
like that little, what's it, the midget that works for North Korea.
oh, Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, and that's the one good thing about Trump, that I remember that when he started threatening the United States, Trump was like, "Okay, come on, little rocket man."
Yeah, but now they're
That's,
best buddies.
yeah, we have bombs that are gonna blow you because he's not that stupid. He's stupid, but he's not that stupid. If he dared, even as the missiles coming towards us, they would blow all of them out.
Oh, it would be Armageddon, as you say. Total.
Right.
Okay. Lisa Foster says, Happy New Year from Kentucky, Mel, and my sweet friend Linda. The best of everything in 2024. Lisa Foster is such a sweetheart.
She is so sweet.
But I want to thank everybody for sending the gifts and everything. There were just so many. I want to thank
Oh
everybody.
my God, thank you for the gifts, you guys. It was absolutely wonderful.
Want to thank everybody generically. I think Linda Werner made this quilt. It was so pretty. And I had all the envelopes saved and they got thrown out. And I was going ballistic, going, what? Yeah, they
But you were
decided,
gonna send thank yous, yeah.
yes, they decided to clean my office. I'm like, what? And anyway, so
So
I,
I want to thank everyone too. I just got a box from my sister picked up my stuff in Nevada. And I got these bird houses that are real cute, handmade. I got a lot of stuff.
I got Betty Boop cups, a nice wreath that was really cool. You know,
We have
some
very artistic people out there. Have you noticed that?
somebody sent me this old deck of cards that you can use, like psychically, and it was really cool. Um,
Awesome.
and then somebody sent me some Aloha shirts. So everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you for the gifts.
Thank you, guys. And I got a lot of Christmas cards too.
So did I. And if I'm not responding to you, it's because the stuff got thrown, the envelopes, some of them got thrown out. So I apologize. Next year, I'm putting them in a safe.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Did you tell everybody what for in the office?
Did. Even Gary, I'm like, I had that there for a reason. It's like, poor Gary.
Whose turn is it now?
Yours.
Oh, some in the GOP are trying to get Romney to run. If Trump goes down, do you think they'll recruit Romney? This is Simmer.
Well, there was a time when I thought he was horrible, but anything will be a blessing in
I
comparison.
see him wanting to be the hell out of there. He's retiring. He said he puts out of his own pocket for security. However, being president, he would have security, but he'll never be president. I hate to say
I
that.
don't see that. I do think they'll get somebody else to run other than Trump, but I keep saying I don't like Nikki Haley, but she's something to watch. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but she speaks out of both sides of her
Of
mouth.
course.
And she's for restrict abortion stuff. So no, I don't see her being able to go.
But I'll tell you who at some point I think is going to put her hat in the ring is Liz Cheney.
Yeah, I never felt that. And
But
if
I
she
don't think
did,
it's
I
this
don't see her
election year.
winning.
I
Yeah.
don't. But
She is so hated.
I know.
And she'd need the support of those who love Trump. So forget about it.
No, I don't see her winning, but at some point I do see, and I think she's doing it already behind the scenes, working really hard to bring back the old Republican Party as opposed to what's going on now with the MAGAs. So I don't
Yeah,
like,
but the old Republican Party sucked too, all the way back to Reagan.
of
They
course it,
sucked. And her father, God bless her, but he was a vicious SOB.
I know. I
They
know.
made so many jokes about going out with him and getting shot in the face.
I'll tell you who I see coming down, the Sarah Huckabee Sanders, that whole podium game.
Oh, I know. That really affected her poll numbers. I love it.
Yep, Pearls is going to be gone.
She
I
got
call
those
it-
dresses like I used to make in Helmet when I was young. Kind of like those 60s, the Empire waist stuff, you know, kind of hillbilly looking.
Oh. The fashion police should arrest her and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Okay, so is it my turn or somebody else's turn?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Happy New Year. This is Nancy. Will the child tax credit come back this year?
If not this year, then following year.
Next year. It's Biden will put a lot of this stuff back into place. Plus, they're going to start making sure the rich pay more.
I agree. Janie House says, will Trump cronies Mike Flynn, Steve Bannon, Paul Manafort, and Roger Stone face justice for their role in the insurrection? Trump pardoned all of them as he was leaving the White House, but he didn't pardon them for having something to do with the insurrection. He pardoned them for other things.
Yeah.
But I've always said that those guys, here again, I'll read the names: Flynn, Bannon, Manafort, and Stone. I've always seen them under investigation and indicted and in jail.
But listen, the only thing they're holding on to is hoping and praying that Trump gets in again.
That's right. That's right.
Boy, that Flynn is going to go down.
Oh, big time. All of them. All right, your time. Your turn.
Old wind. I was listening to an astrology podcast, and it was suggested that the retrogrades in Pluto's Sun conjunction, the presidential election could be tossed to the Supreme Court. Is currently stacked with Trump supporters. What's the chance Trump could be installed as president if this happens? No.
I don't see that.
No.
I don't see that at all.
There's a voice and a vision that I keep getting about people behind the scenes, not people out there in the front. And shame on MSNBC and all those people always talking like, oh, gee, you know, Trump this, but they want to feed the fear. But I see people coming up and saying, no, you know, there's a lot of people acting like because Biden with the Israel thing.
Because it makes money for them.
But, you know, Biden's not the president of Israel. Netanyahu's going down. And Biden even told him, you're breaking the rules of engagement.
Well, he is.
And so, you know, yes, it's terrible what happened, but they're breaking the rules of engagement.
Netanyahu doesn't want to stop, because if he does, that'll bring attention back to him, and he's wagging the dog right now.
And don't forget our Andre. He said that next year, even Kamala's chart is excellent. She looks fantastic.
We got to do a collab with him. He's fun.
I love him. He's so cool.
I do too. He's a nice guy. Okay. This is D Jersey Shore. Hey, Jersey Shore. Happy New Year, Mel and Linda. I recently saw 50 to 70% of young people are not happy with Biden and his support for Israel. Will this deter them from voting for him or at all? Thank you. I don't see that.
Wait, he recently saw what?
Okay, D from Jersey Shore said, Happy New Year, Mel and Linda. I recently saw 50 to 70% of young people are not happy with Biden because of his support for Israel. Will this deter them from voting for him?
It will with some, but there's more that coming out that are for. Listen, and then what are you going to do? Pick the orange head? What's your choice? You want to live like Germany did during the Nazi, or do you want? Yeah, no.
And if Trump were to win, that's exactly what would happen.
Our democracy is gone.
Yeah, we'd all have to think about moving to Canada.
Now, if he was to actually win, which I don't see, but if God forbid something happened, I think something would happen that would take him out.
Yeah, but then they'd make him a martyr.
Yeah.
So, and then he'd pick some vice president that nobody would want. So, anyway.
Maybe the United States needs to go through this, but it'll take forever to put back But I don't see him winning. I can't even fantasize about this.
I don't either, but I don't think it's going to affect young people's vote that much. I mean, I think they're smart enough to figure out that if you don't vote, that's a vote for Cheeto.
Yeah.
And so I think they're going to be out in droves. In fact, I see them out in droves voting.
Now, whose turn is it next?
Yours.
Ruby red slippers. Can you explain the Christ consciousness that other readers are saying is going to show up in the second half of the year? What is it to you and what does it mean for us?
I don't get anything on it.
I've always spoke about the Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is the realm. It's being vibrationally connected to the other side. As you stop worrying and fretting and too busy, we all need to live. But this didn't happen until I had cancer. In my reevaluation of who I am and vibrationally connecting as best as I can, that's where that love is. That's where, the love that people talk about who die and go to the other side, that's where it is. So as you go into a Christ consciousness, like all of the folks that are in this realm of YouTube, and we're all trying to collectively be stronger, as we keep working away, no matter what happens, and accepting what happens, we connect to the realm. And when you're in that realm, you can create whatever it is you need.
Well, cancer for me was life-changing.
Yeah.
But what I learned, and I say this all the time, is rather than letting the fear stand in front of me and hold me back, and there was, you talked me off a lot of ledges. There were times I was paralyzed. I didn't tell that, but I was. I had to learn to let the fear get behind me and push me forward.
Yeah.
And so,
well, and it helps to have a good psychic, because I saw you were going to be fine, but it was convincing you that, because you need to know you're going to be fine. But I felt very strongly not to worry, it was going to be okay.
I mean, I believed you, but still, when you have cancer, it's like, whoa.
It's very scary.
It's very frightening.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, Linda, she's got a good recipe for a prime rib. Run it past us real quick.
Well, I bought that huge prime rib for Christmas. It was too big. So I cut a piece off and said, well, I'll serve it to the boys for New Year's Day. And what you do is you make sure it's room temperature. Oh, take the bone off. Tell the butcher to take the bone off and then tie it back on. Or if you can do it yourself, because you need the bone on there to give it a good flavor. Then I use Paula Deen's mix.
It's the best.
It's got onion powder, garlic powder, and anyway, I rub it all in a little butter on the outside, just a little, not too much. And then I rub the salt all over it. Then I put it in I have it preheated at 375. You put it in the oven and 1 hour. Don't open that oven for nobody. 1 hour, shut it off, which is what I just put everybody on pause. So it was been an hour. Put it on, shut that, don't look at it, turn off the oven. And then whenever it's time to eat tonight, 5, 6 o'clock, about 40 minutes before that, I turn it back on to 375 and cook it for 40 minutes. So it turns out perfect. Doesn't matter the size of the prime rib.
So it comes out like medium rare.
Yes. Well, Paula says, if you need your prime rib, get roast.
That's true.
You don't do a prime rib at well. So
no. Okay.
So we probably got time for another question.
Okay, you go ahead.
You don't have another one there?
Oh, I do. Connie B says, Happy New Year. Well, the money that was borrowed, borrowed, she's got in quotes, from Social Security ever be paid back? Not going to happen.
No. Now that brings a question I'd like to ask you, Mel. So they're trying to, there's something for Social Security that they're trying to make people who make a lot of money have to pay taxes or only get so much Social Security. Will that go through?
Not with this. Not with what's going on in the House and even the Senate. We need more in the Senate, but at some point it will pass.
But it's like people have paid into this. Some who make more money paid even more. And then you're going to tell them they don't deserve it because
no, that won't pass. No, I think if you've paid more into it, you should get more. Absolutely. I think what I see is what they'll do is they'll tier it. Like if you paid in X amount, you get X amount from Social Security. If you paid in this amount, you get X amount. If you paid in this amount, you get X amount.
Right.
Uh, but you know, they call it an entitlement. That is not an entitlement. That's something we've all paid into. And
Exactly. Exactly.
if
Yeah,
you,
and the government, we wouldn't be, how much did they borrow? 1 billion or 1 trillion? Or
yes,
borrowed? They took out of the Social Security fund the money that we put into it. So don't claim that you don't have it.
if you took the same amount of money that you'd put into Social Security and invested it in some blue chip stock over a period from the time that you're 18 until you're 65, you'd be a millionaire.
Right. Right. I
Um,
got a question from Janine. She wants to know, could you please tune into your neighbor in Canada? What will it look like economically and politically? And by the way, those Canadian fires, according to the big world thing, was one of the worst fires in any country. It was pretty bad.
and I
I
think
do see who's the prime minister?
Trudeau,
Oh, is it
Justin,
Trudeau?
Justin
Who's the
Trudeau,
one of France?
Macron.
Okay. So Trudeau, I don't see going back in.
I just hope that he's replaced with somebody who's more
I know,
liberal.
I do see a little bit of a shakeup, and I do see some political angst. Economically, it feels okay, but I do see some political angst as they get readjusted.
I tell Canadians to get out and vote because what happened here could very easily happen there.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
and so, I had a question the other day. Did I think the economy here was going to go either into an inflation or recession? Neither. I see the economy here growing.
It's
So
growing like crazy. We've gone up 34%.
oh yeah. So that'll help people vote for Biden. And
Yeah,
I
why would you want to vote for what's his face when you got the best economy ever? When gas is 2.50 a gallon in Florida, what the hell are they complaining about? I just did a reading this morning with a lady who lives in Iowa, of all places. And not that she's thrilled with it, but she said, gas is dirt cheap, but she lived in California. Groceries is as expensive.
yeah,
But that's because of that's not inflation, that's greed.
that is exactly right. They say supplies chain shortage.
No, these people said, "Oh, yeah, let's act like we can," and they raised their prices through the roof, and they falsely kept them up there.
And it's price gouging. And ever notice when they start raising them, it's harder to get them to bring them back down.
Oh, oh, yeah, like remember when candy bars used to be a nickel?
Right.
And then
Like,
now, not only are they way more expensive, but they're bringing them down to about that big.
well, I think, the thing is like with chickens and things like that, the price went so high, people stopped eating them. They had to bring the price down.
Yeah,
So
that's what I noticed. There was a lot of chicken but people weren't buying them.
that's why. And I think if we just say, wait a minute, you know what, we're not going to pay that kind of exorbitant stuff, then guess what? They'd be forced to bring the prices down. I
Yeah.
do see legislation being passed to stop price gouging.
I see, not now with this administration, but I see some sort of committee or somebody that's really taking a deep dive into what's going on with these places that are outrageously upping.
Crazy.
Eggs and milk and stuff used to be cheap. Now you got to think twice.
I know. It's like, staple foods that people, poor people had to depend on to try to eat. They can't even touch right now. It's just ridiculous. So,
Exactly.
but I see those prices coming down. I do.
Right. Well, my friend, what's your plans for today?
Well, I'm going to go with my cousin to pick up some food and take to the homeless people over there. And then I'm going to run to the grocery store and get some sauerkraut. I'm going to make sauerkraut and ribs
Ooh.
because you're supposed to have cabbage on New Year's Day.
But
And
everything is open, all your stores are open.
yeah, and then I'm going to make black-eyed peas.
Oh, that's right. You said you were going to make that.
Because it's a Southern thing,
Yeah.
it's supposed to bring you, I don't know, every piece supposed to bring you money. I don't know.
Well, my family was not for my mom and my tias, tamales on New Year's, but I can't make tamale. I don't know how to make it. I tried once years ago.
I don't know how to make tamales.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't make them.
It probably look like corn mush if I tried to make them.
Exactly.
There's an art to making them, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh.
next my channel, and
Next week is your channel.
Happy New Year, everybody, and stay safe and well.
Stay safe and well. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.